Good afternoon. I hope everybody has enjoyed the morning. My name is Carolyn Montague. I am the president of CIPMM, and I'm very pleased to be here for this awards ceremony. I think this year of all years, recognizing people is terribly important. I want to just have a little bit of housekeeping. The first is we have Sam Brad with us again. He is going to be doing those wonderful pictures again, and very much looking forward to that. The other one is I gather that I'm part of a gamification. So for those of you that don't know, I've had quite a long journey in procurement, and my days started in 1982. I think it was June 10th. So let's get underway. I want to thank CORCAN, in particular Kelly Hartle of CORCAN, for sponsoring the award ceremony. And I'm going to turn it now over to Kelly. Kelly is the Chief Executive Officer of CORCAN. I think many of you may have seen her present earlier. She's going to talk a little bit about the meaning of awards and introduce a couple of our awards. Kelly?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for the introduction. So CORCAN is very pleased to partner with CIPMM in order to help bring you these awards today. CORCAN is the Offender Employment Employability Program. Some of you may have seen our information on the platform, and many of you may have worked with us in the past. But we do find that the awards and recognizing people in the procurement material management community is so important, because the work that you do every day also supports our program. And by acquiring goods, services, construction services through engaging with CORCAN, as opposed to perhaps a different route, means that you're supporting public safety, you're supporting people getting skills that have barriers to employment and overall social reinvestment. So we're just very pleased to be able to help present these awards today. Moving along to our first award, we have the Project Management Award. This award recognizes an individual or a team who has worked towards the successful completion of a procurement or material management related project. Projects should demonstrate significant achievement, quality, and leadership in some or all of the following: research, analysis, project management, partnership, communications, client relations, human resources, or material savings. And this year, the Project Management Award is being presented to the Fleet and Asset Management Sustainable Fleet Procurement from GAC. Congratulations to our award recipients. The second award that we have today is the Bursary Award for full or part-time student. This award is presented to a full or part-time student working or who has worked within the past year in the public sector, federal, provincial, or municipal, including casual, co-op, or student appointments, or a full-time indeterminate employee of the federal public sector enrolled as a part-time student who has demonstrated a marked interest in furthering their career within public procurement and/or material management. This year's CIPMM Bursary Award is being presented to Okafu Eki Ifeimo from the University of Ottawa. Congratulations on being the recipient of this year's bursary.
Thank you, Kelly. Always appreciate those awards, are our traditional CIPMM awards, but this year we have a special award. This is the Unsung Heroes Award. 2020 and 2021 really have shaped up to be a period like very few of us have ever seen before. With the unprecedented worldwide COVID-19 pandemic, federal government procurement and material management organizations have been under enormous pressure to source, manage, and distribute PPE, contract for scientific equipment and services, and a myriad of many other things. They've had unanticipated demands and have had to take on huge challenges on top of their regular work. For this year, we chose to create an Unsung Heroes Award, whereby nominations can be submitted for teams and individuals who have faced these COVID-19 related challenges head on and found innovative and effective procurement and material management solutions. Nominees may have worked on anything from smaller local solutions all the way up to whole of government initiatives. We want to celebrate those that exemplify the strengths and adaptability of our professional community. I'm going to invite Louis Martin Perron of our premier partner. He's the acting DG of Procurement Assistance Canada, formerly known as OSME. And Louis Martin, if you don't mind joining me, and you could actually give out these awards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. I'm very honored to be here. I'd like to acknowledge first off that the land on which I work and live is the traditional unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. And as Carolyn said, I'm here to run through the list of award recipients. Just a very quick bit of background in terms of OSME's participation in the whole pandemic response. We were very proud, OSME at the time, PAC now, very proud to do its part last year during the first wave of COVID. L'appel aux fournisseurs qui a été mis sur achat-et-vente.gc.ca a généré plus de 37 000 soumissions, incluant plus de 17 000 de compagnies canadiennes. Toute l'équipe de OSME a été interpellée à agir comme premier filtre pour que les offres de EPI, ou PPE in English, qui arrivaient dans les mains des acheteurs aient le plus grand potentiel de succès. So this really wasn't easy. All the calls, there's long hours and a great deal of work from the whole OSME team for months. But through all the calls that we had, you would hear the gratitude that suppliers and the general public had for the work that the procurement community was doing as a whole, and in support of the pandemic response. We were told, quite honestly, many times how much your work and the work of the community, how much of a difference it made. So I passed those thanks on to you all. So let's get to the awards. So the Unsung Heroes Award for the Grace Under Pressure. The first is Team Wage, Women and Gender Equality. Félicitations. Le deuxième, c'est Affaires mondiales Canada, l'équipe d'approvisionnement d'intervention d'urgence pour COVID-19. The third is the Canada Revenue Agency with the CRA Contracting Division. Congratulations. And there are all the names there. It's a very, very large team, as befits the CRA. The fourth is the Department of National Defense, the Base Logistics Procurement and Contracting Division. And there they are. La cinquième, je crois, c'est l'équipe CMS de Services correctionnels du Canada. Félicitations. Moving on, we have PSPC's own BASD, the Business Analytics and Services Directorate. Congratulations. And still with PSPC, we have the COVID-19 procurement team from Defense and Marine Procurement Branch. And there's some of the names and pictures. Encore avec Services publics et approvisionnement Canada, on a l'équipe d'approvisionnement de COVID-19, le secteur d'intervention en cas de pandémie. Félicitations. Et l'équipe de, encore une fois avec Services publics et approvisionnement Canada, l'équipe d'approvisionnement de COVID-19, tous les bureaux régionaux. And still with PSPC, we have the COVID-19 procurement team, services, and innovation acquisitions sector. Congratulations. Still with PSPC, we have the Procurement Operations Support Division. And there are the pictures there. PSPC still, l'équipe conjointe de négociation sur les vaccins contre la COVID-19 de SPAC, les services juridiques. A decent job during some pretty heavy negotiations with lots of partners. Next slide, please. There we go. There we go. Congratulations. Oh, there we go. So with PSPC still, we have the Commercial and Consumer Products Directorate. Congratulations. Et l'Agence des services frontaliers du Canada, on a l'équipe d'approvisionnement en COVID-19 pour la direction des achats. Félicitations. And still with CBSA, we have, the Canadian Border Services Canada. We have the CBSA Procurement COVID-19 Arrive Can app. With Natural Research Council of Canada, we have the NRC D&D Biologic Manufacturing Center Procurement Team. Congratulations.
Thank you, Louis Martin, for identifying the recipients of our team award of the Unsung Heroes Grace Under Pressure. Now, if you could identify to us the 5 recipients of the individual award for the Unsung Heroes Grace Under Pressure.
I would be honored. Thank you very much, Carolyn. First up, we have Joël Paquette de Service Public et Approvisionnement Canada. Félicitations, Joël. Next, we have Othman Mesefer. Hopefully I'm close enough on the pronunciation, again from Public Services and Procurement Canada. Third, we have Deanne Ferguson from the Department of National Defense. Congratulations, Deanne. Quatrièmement, on a Sébastien Lipp, or Sebastian Lipp, from Public Services and Procurement Canada. Et finalement, on a Stephanie Stalker de Services Publics et Approvisionnement Canada. Félicitations, Stephanie.
Thank you very much, Louis Martin. Very much appreciated. You'll note some of the slides didn't have all the pictures. We were still receiving them as we went into our workshop. So if somebody has not yet had an opportunity, they can still send their photos to us, and we will be adjusting the deck for that. So please keep that in mind. The order of the group was in no means a ranking of any sort. We accepted all of those nominations equally, and we're very proud that the procurement and material management community played such an important part in our handling of the pandemic. I now want to turn it over to Derek Bezecki. He's the Treasury Board Canada Secretariat, and he's going to talk about the certification program. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Carolyn. Before getting started, I'd just like to recognize all our award winners. Great job. I was so pleased to see some familiar names pop up on there, folks I've worked with over the years. So give yourself a quick round of applause for all the hard work you've done during this very challenging year. Speaking of challenges, as I'm sure many of you are well aware, achieving certification throughout this pandemic has been, somewhat of an issue on its own. We've seen reductions in courses being offered. Our exams were offered in person. We were unable to do that through the PSC. And of course, our review panel for the Canada Achievement Records, made up of senior officials throughout government, were obviously very busy throughout this response. So I want to take a time to recognize them and all the hard work they've done and well. So that being said, recognizing your achievements is very important. Traditionally, we would do this in person at the national workshop. We did something similar last year at our virtual summit. So I believe that was in June 2020. We had a similar sort of recognition ceremony for this. Again, very important to recognize all the hard work and dedication you've had coming through this session here. So I don't know how many of you were able to join into this session here. I see that we are flipping through the names here as we go. So I wanted to congratulate you myself. I do act as the manager of the program from the Treasury Board side. Obviously, many of you will be dealing with the Canadian General Standards Board in your day-to-day interactions, but I thought it was important here to basically tip my hat to you, congratulate you on all the hard work you've done. I know it has not been easy to push through this process, so really, I'd like you all to take a moment, reflect on the names here, and sort of, give everybody a round of applause on their hard work. We do generally send out some signed congratulatory letters. We still are planning to do that once we get back into the the swing of things and a little more operational standpoint. Physical items have been challenging through this virtual world, but we do want to make sure that you are recognized as other members have been in the past. So once again, congratulations and thank you for your hard work. Next up, I am going to take a moment to pass along the mic to Carolyn Landry, and she will be discussing the mentorship program as well as the graduates, and to say a couple words about the program in general. So without further ado, Caroline, I'll pass the mic over to you again.
Great, thank you so much, Derek. I'd like to welcome everyone to this portion of our ceremony, where we're going to be saluting our graduates. So again, my name is Caroline Landry, and I am the chair of the CIPMM mentorship program. This year we had a great program. We had 10 mentors, over 50 mentees from 23 different departments. We had a fantastic year. Virtual worked out really well with many comedic moments. We said you were on mute more times than you would think humanly possible. Big thank you to our wonderful mentors who volunteered their time, as well as the support from CIPMM and the contribution of the mentorship committee, who put together a really wonderful program. Special thanks to our president, Carolyn Montague, who is always our biggest cheerleader. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I'd now like to go through our slides. Oh, I think we need to back up one, if we could. Oh, one more. One more. Perfect. So here you can see that we have our mentors, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but these folks represent about 300 years of experience in procurement and government. Next slide, please. So here are our mentorship groups. This year we had it broken up into 10 groups. So group number one, and I'd like to say that we are number one. We kind of are. We had a great, I had a great group, but I'm sure all the rest of the mentors will say this as well. I'm happy to report that our mentors this year, we had many who are returning mentors year after year. In fact, there's a few that have been with me since the beginning, about 5 years ago. So group number two, led by Danielle Pilon from Global Affairs Canada, who had a co-mentor, Luc Bonhomme from Canadian Nuclear Safety Commission. Group number three was led by our wonderful Dominique Bélanger from Global Affairs, with her co-mentor, Jennifer Beamish. Group number four, Archie Pacheco from NRCan. Group number five, Richard Quinn from D&D, and I heard lots of great stories from Richard about his very gregarious group. Our next slide, please. And number six, Francis Gosselin from Fisheries and Oceans with his group. Jamie Madden, number seven, group seven from Transport Canada. Crystal Maloney from Public Safety, and you're going to hear a little bit more, I'm sure, from her with her group number eight. Group number nine, Melanie Brunette from Public Services and Procurement Canada. And Melanie had the largest group. She had our Francophone group. So thank you so much to Melanie for taking on this many mentees. And last but not least, Nada LaPlante from PSPC. Nada is actually one of our retirees who came back to support the program. So thank you so much. I did want to mention that all of you mentees will be getting your graduation certificate in the mail. You know, it's in the mail. And congratulations again. All of the connections and relationships that you've developed with your mentors and your fellow mentees are going to be part of a network that you're going to be able to use for the rest of your career. So again, congratulations. I'm very, very excited to have this program still going strong after all these years. And of course, next year we're going to have another program, and actually registrations have launched, so you can check it out on the CIPMM website. So now to the next part of our agenda. We are going to be having a roundtable discussion on the mentorship program and basically mentorship in general. So discussions will be led by myself, and our panelists include Crystal Maloney as a mentor, Melanie Brunette as another mentor, Matthew Lemieux, mentee, and Saad Ibrahimi also as a mentee. So I wonder who I'm going to pick on first for my first question. Probably let's start with Crystal. So Crystal, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what inspired you to become a mentor? And maybe you could also give us some advice on what makes a good mentor or mentee.
Okay, that's a lot. Okay, that's so many questions in one. I mean, myself, I don't have, I have experience in procurement. I've been doing a procurement since before 2007. I officially moved into the PG category in 2007. I started at Correctional Service Canada, but it was more on the client side of things. I was kind of a jack of all trades, but I was helping at the time set up, it's the health services branch now, or sector, I think they use it, CSC. They were a smaller group within the organization where I was exposed to a lot of health services procurement and stuff like that. Now, the majority of my experiences with Public Safety Canada, I moved over there in 2007, where I moved into the PG community, and I was lucky to grow in my career there. One of the wonderful things about working in a bit of a smaller organization is you don't get specialized in a particular commodity. You get specialized in jack of all trades and master of none, and having to be responding to a variety of client requirements and think nimbly and respond to what their needs are in order to enable the business operations, right? So you sometimes get to be very creative. You also get the opportunity to make a lot of mistakes. So I've learned through a lot of messy things. But one of the reasons that I wanted to be a mentor is, one, a lot of my team participates in this program, and I think it's fantastic to expand your network. I think it's really important for officers to get out there and to meet people outside of their own organization. And I find, we get so busy, you don't get as much of an opportunity to do that. And I was really lucky to have informally people that in my career invested time in me, invested time in making sure I understood the why of what I was doing, to challenge things, to ask questions, and understand not just like going through the process, but why I'm doing those things and what the impacts are. And I like talking. I am a chatter. So if you ever catch me in the hall somewhere, I could talk for hours and hours. People have to say, I have to go now, Crystal. It's not usually me. So, it's another opportunity too, to meet, people outside the organization, and I get to see what people are challenged with too. And I can bring that back to my own team. And anyways, I will end because I'll keep talking.
Great. Thank you so much, Crystal. And a lot of what you said certainly resonates with me. And sometimes I get the same thing where people say, Caroline, I got to go. So I consider it a nice problem to have. La prochaine question va être pour Mélanie. Mélanie, cette année, le programme était 100% virtuel. Comment vous êtes-vous assuré de conserver la partie personnelle du programme? Avez-vous des conseils ou des trucs à partager? Est-ce que Mélanie, elle est...
Oui, c'est bon. Merci, Caroline. Je n'entendais pas bien. Oui, ça coupait un petit peu. Oui, effectivement, ben nous, cette année, vu que c'était virtuel, on s'est adapté. Dans le fond, ce qu'on a fait, on a mis les gens à l'aise. Fait que dans le fond, on s'est dit, vous utilisez votre caméra ou pas, c'est à votre discrétion. On veut juste que les gens soient à l'aise. Ce qu'on a fait au niveau de garder le côté personnel, on commence toujours nos agendas avec, OK, c'est quoi vous avez fait le dernier mois, tout ça.
Oh, je pense qu'on a perdu Mélanie.
Ça l'a coupé, hein? Est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Oui, parfait.
OK, je suis revenue. Ouais, je suis désolée, je pense que ça coupe. Donc, effectivement, ce qu'on a fait, c'est qu'on gardait au niveau plus personnel, comme au début des rencontres, là, on se disait, OK, ce qui s'est passé le mois dernier, fait qu'on parlait des choses, nos vacances, on a pris un petit 5 minutes pour compter des anecdotes, ce que les gens avaient vécu dans le dernier mois. Ce que j'ai aimé, par exemple, du côté, qui était virtuel, c'est que des gens, des fois, sont un petit peu plus gênés. Si on serait dans une salle de rencontre, il y a peut-être des gens qui seraient plus gênés à poser des questions. Tandis que là, avec le chat, je trouvais de mes Steam, c'était le fun parce que les gens, s'ils étaient gênés de poser une question, ben, ils pouvaient l'écrire. Fait que, ça l'a au moins permis aux gens d'assurer la confidentialité, mais aussi comme d'être à l'aise de poser les questions qu'ils voulaient. Puis c'est ça qui fait, dans le fond, comme on dit, là, le groupe de mentorat, c'est comme une petite famille. C'est ça qui fait que c'est extraordinaire. Dans le fond, là, c'est vraiment en partageant toutes nos expériences. Puis le Vegas, là, on est ouvert, on écoute, on parle, on se conseille. C'est ça qui fait la beauté, dans le fond, du programme. Mais non, on s'est adapté virtuellement, comme on s'est tout adapté au téléwork. Puis, la seule chose positive qu'on peut dire, c'est qu'on a sauvé des frais de déplacement. Là, donc, c'est sûr qu'il y a ça. Mais non, on s'est adapté de notre côté, puis l'expérience a été bonne, le côté virtuel. On a gardé le petit côté personnel du programme.
Parfait. Merci, Melanie. The next person I'm going to pick on will be Matthew Lemieux. So, Matthew, can you give our audience some advice on what makes a good mentee?
Well, that's a loaded question. I think just by taking the first step in registering for the mentee program, you have to accept that you're responsible for your career path, or acknowledging what you don't know and coming with an open mind to sessions to learn about information, knowledge, and experiences that others bring to the table. And so for me, coming from the client side, I was coming to the table to an area where people are more specialized. So and appreciating all the perspectives that everyone brought to the table. And it was great discussion to that. So I think that having an open mind, understanding your own limitations, but also being ready to put in the work about that you own your own career is important to come as important as a mindset when coming to the mentee program.
Great, thank you so much, Matthew. Sad. Prochaine question est pour toi. Comment le fait d'être un mentor ou une personne mentorée vous a-t-il aidé dans votre travail et dans votre carrière? So, comme personne mentorée, est-ce que ça va vous aider? Je ne peux pas t'entendre.
Est-ce qu'on m'entend?
Parfait.
Oui.
On t'entend là, oui.
Ok, super. Écoutez, en tant que mentoré, programme de mentorat, c'était vraiment très utile parce que des fois, on a des doutes, on a des décisions à prendre pour notre carrière, pour nos dossiers. Puis le fait de pouvoir le partager avec le groupe, avec la mentor, ça permet ça aide dans son processus décisionnel. Ça permet de dissiper les doutes. On dit que 2 têtes, ça va mieux qu'une. Alors imaginez 10 têtes, tout le groupe, là. Je trouvais sincèrement avoir vraiment un avantage stratégique par rapport à certaines décisions que je prenais. En plus, notre mentor, ma mentor, elle nous a beaucoup encouragés, guidés par son expérience, son intégrité, les outils qui sont à notre disposition et qu'on ne connaît pas forcément. Des fois, ça peut être même par des anecdotes, des dossiers, des choses qui lui sont arrivées. Juste nous parler de ça, ça nous rappelle la réalité des choses auxquelles on s'identifie. Donc, des fois, on veut tellement bien faire quand on décide des choses qu'on s'oublie, on se sacrifie. Mais si on ne le fait pas, il n'y a personne qui le fera pour nous. Aujourd'hui, je sais que même après la graduation, il y a comme un lien qui s'est fait avec le reste du groupe, avec la mentor, avec les autres élèves. Puis, je sais que je pourrais en bénéficier le reste de ma carrière. Donc, en gros, en tant que mentoré, c'est de tout ça que j'ai bénéficié.
Okay, merci, Sad. My next question is probably going to be for all of you. So you participated in our formalized procurement mentorship program here at CIPMM. But I'd like you to think about perhaps an informal mentoring relationship that you've had during your career, and how, if you could, share with us, how did you initiate it, or did it occur naturally? So I will let you guys raise your hand to decide who wants to take the first stab at that. Oh, Crystal, I always can count on you to volunteer first. Over to you, Crystal.
Let me talk. So I was very fortunate. My former manager, France, she was a mentor for me. She's still a mentor for me. It really truly evolved naturally, because obviously we worked together, and she's just that type of person where she truly invests in her team. And so she was always really a role model. And even with my own team, we all agreed to kind of stay chatting together and just continue our conversations in the future after the graduation, because, it's beneficial. We had our sessions on a Friday. I think it kind of, not only it was mentor-mentee conversations, but it was a little bit of decompression towards the end of the week. Everybody kind of got some things off their chest that they needed to get off their chest in a very safe environment. I think we had some good trust, and I'm happy to continue doing that, and same with my own team at home. We're very at home, at work. It feels like it's at home because I'm working in my house all the time. But, we have very open dialogues, good relationships, and, I'm trying to continue what I was able to receive from my mentor type relationships. The end.
Perfect. Thanks, Crystal. Who wants to go next? Mélanie, Sad.
Je peux y aller, moi. Oui. Sad, est-ce que tu veux y aller ou tu me laisses aller?
Écoute, je vais te laisser, il n'y a pas de problème, je peux attendre.
OK, c'est bon. Je vais y aller en français, Caroline, si c'est correct avec toi.
Oui.
Donc, moi, je dirais, c'est sûr que moi, partie de mon travail, là, en tant que gestionnaire, je fais un petit peu, c'est pas nécessairement du mentorat, mais je pense que je dois dire comme ça fait partie de mon ADN, je pense, mon DNA, d'aider les gens. Avec l'expérience qu'on a, comme moi, je me considère comme une vieille PG, là, comment je peux dire. Puis, j'ai gravi les échelons. Puis j'aime ça partager avec les gens, comme surtout les mentorés, là, comment qu'on peut les aider. Moi, là, je suis le genre de personne qui va, si je peux te montrer en 5 minutes ce que j'apprends en 5 ans, là, ou si je peux donner un contact, le network est tellement important dans ce qu'on fait. Si je peux donner un lien à une personne, c'est ça qui fait la beauté, puis c'est ça qui fait que le groupe devient, peu importe si c'est dans ton travail de tous les jours ou un programme de mentorat, c'est le partage des connaissances. Ça n'a pas de prix. On a appris, en tout cas dans ce programme-là, moi j'ai appris que en échangeant, j'ai appris des mentorés, comment, de différents ministères, comment est-ce que les autres pensent, on travaillait sur des solutions. J'ai trouvé ça comme magnifique, mais je trouve que c'est vraiment le plus de tout ça. Je te dirais, peu importe, même dans le travail de tous les jours qu'on fait ou dans le programme, c'est le partage. Le partage d'informations, des ressources, ça n'a pas de prix. Puis, c'est important pour nous, les mentors aussi, on veut préparer la relève, on veut des gens, fait que c'est là, je pense, la nécessité de partager, puis on veut de la bonne relève. On veut que les gens nous remplacent, on veut faire les bonnes actions pour que ces gens-là évoluent. Fait que tout ce qu'on peut leur partager là, dans notre tâche de tous les jours, ou mentor, pas mentor, je pense que c'est ça qui est important, là, de pouvoir partager notre acquis avec les gens. Puis croyez-moi, là, je pense que je l'ai dit souvent aux mentorés, on apprend de tout le monde, à tous les jours de tout le monde, peu importe les niveaux, peu importe de ce qu'il y en est, on apprend de tous et chacun. Moi, je le dis encore, c'est une petite famille, le programme de mentorat. Fait que j'ai adoré.
OK, merci Mélanie. OK, Sad, c'est ton tour. Vas-y.
Oui, je me rappelle, j'ai un gestionnaire qui m'a dit un jour, en fait, il m'a dit, choisis un travail que tu aimes et tu n'auras pas à travailler un seul jour de ta vie. J'ai réalisé que c'était Confucius qui avait dit ça, mais bon, c'est pas grave. Le fond de l'histoire, c'est vraiment essayer de choisir quelque chose qu'on aime, puis sentir la passion, puis quand on transmet cette passion-là, l'autre personne le sent que tu veux bien faire, que tu lui tends la main, que tu veux l'aider. On a eu une personne, j'ai connu quelqu'un dans ma carrière qui est arrivé dans notre équipe, et ça fait pas très longtemps, ça fait 3 ans et demi, en tant que commis CR4 aux approvisionnements. Mais je sentais en cette personne-là cette flamme, et elle était tellement intense. Au début, on l'a formée, on l'a accompagnée, puis on a vu qu'elle était très proactive, elle avait beaucoup de questions, elle avait un esprit assez critique, elle voulait toujours chercher à comprendre. Elle avait un problème, elle avait 2 ou 3 solutions, elle venait en discuter, puis on lui montrait pourquoi on éliminait des solutions, pourquoi on en laissait d'autres. Je l'ai accompagnée un petit peu à travers tout ça, j'ai essayé de l'aider, puis à un moment donné, je voyais qu'elle était capable d'en prendre un peu plus comme dossier. Au niveau de la complexité, je lui ai suggéré, veux-tu essayer? Elle m'a dit oui, pourquoi pas? Elle s'est dit, j'ai rien à perdre. Elle s'est essayée, puis elle avait des questions, puis on a travaillé ensemble. C'était vraiment, comme dit Mélanie, c'est une question de partage, de partager ses connaissances. On est là pour travailler ensemble, on a un but commun. Donc, il y a une entraide qui s'est créée, il y a un lien de confiance. Puis après, elle voulait appliquer au programme d'approvisionnement. Malheureusement, elle n'avait pas, au niveau des études, il faut un baccalauréat, ce n'était pas possible. Donc, il fallait trouver un autre moyen pour d'autres postes plus élevés, parce que je me suis dit, écoute, tu ne peux pas rester commis CR4 à un moment donné, il faut que ça bouge. Puis, je l'ai accompagnée, je l'ai accompagnée à appliquer à des applications, puis on a trouvé des postes, puis aujourd'hui, je peux dire que cette personne-là, en 3 ans et demi, est passée de CR4 à PG4. Et ce n'est pas fini. Et je suis sûr, demain, elle deviendrait ma patronne, je ne serais pas surpris. Et je serais fier d'elle parce que c'est quelqu'un de brillant. Puis c'est beau de voir quelqu'un partir, puis de sentir cette passion en elle. Comme je disais, choisis un travail que tu aimes et tu n'auras pas à travailler un seul jour de ta vie. C'est beau de la voir aller. Puis voilà, c'était ça mon expérience au niveau d'accompagner quelqu'un au niveau du mentorat.
OK. Ben, merci, Sad. Ça, c'est vraiment beau. Matthew.
Yes.
Last but not least, over to you.
So, no pressure, my goodness. So on my end, it wasn't even a supervisor. I was on the client side and submitted requests, and eventually, kind and passionate contracting officer at Transport Canada was there to answer my bazillion of questions and saw that I wanted more than just, the paper answer. I wanted to really understand what was happening. So they took the time to explain things to me. And I find that those mentorship relationships develop when there's an interest from one party and a compassionate side on the other. And so I've found no end to compassion on the procurement side, because I think PGs are very intelligent people that realize when you show compassion to your clients, they're more understanding when you have to delay things or when you have to give them an answer they don't want to hear, or help them along so it makes your life easier too, part of that client side. So but it was that relationship in particular that helped me develop my more profound interest in procurement and has kind of navigated my career path into that area. So it's not even someone who's directly your supervisor, it's just anyone who has a compassionate heart, who, like Minani said, you want to share information with it and share and pass on your experience, like all the great stories that we've had from Crystal, all her interesting files too. So just that, approaching it from that end, anyone can be a mentor, even if they're not your boss, and anyone can be a mentee if you're just demonstrating that initiative and that curiosity to learn from someone else's experiences.
Great. No, and that's very well said, Matthew. And that's exactly been my experience. I've benefited from some really great mentors throughout my career. And I think once you've done that, you certainly see the benefit and how it enriches both sides. It's not just the mentee learning from the mentor. I can tell you every year with my mentee groups, I learn things that, I'm like, wow, okay. And especially in the last year and a half, all of the virtual tricks, I have to say, I've learned from my mentees. So they were they were very patient with me. So this brings us to the end of our panel discussion. So I would like to once again thank you and congratulations to all the award winners today, and of course to our graduating mentees. Registrations again are now open on the CIPMM website for our 2021-2022 program. So please get the word out to your colleagues. If you have any questions or want to find out more, please feel free to reach out. I'm the only Caroline Landry at PSPC, so I'm easy to find. Once again, thank you to Corcan, our partner for this session, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your workshop. Have a great day.